Hey everybody, welcome back to the Breathfire Breathfire 3 walkthrough. We are just entering the dump, and I actually did come in here, and kind of accidentally, because I came in with the intent to just level, and I accidentally grabbed a couple of treasure chests, actually. So you won't actually get to see me open. I think it's just two of them. And I'll try to, I'll talk about what I actually got in there. But, I guess maybe not that big of a deal. One thing I will say though, so when I came in here, for the first time, I came in with the intent to level. And my idea was to apprentice, or what I did, I should say, was apprentice under Delonzo. Because I wanted to get steel as soon as I could. So I believe I had Nina and Momo under Delonzo, and the main character was still under Migas. Reason being, and again, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm going with more of a mage build for the main character, and I really wanted to try to make up some of Momo's accuracy issues. I was trying to make up for some of that by apprenticing under Delonzo. She does give a little boost to accuracy while you're under her. So again, that is what I decided to do. As far as enemy skills and whatnot in this area, you can learn air raid. I'm not sure if I took a video of me learning that or not. I guess we'll find out eventually. But unfortunately, just right off the top of my head, I don't know that I used air raid very much. It seems like it should be a good skill because it says it cancels the next turn. So, like, ideally, it would make sense to use that on your fastest character, and as long as that character is faster than the enemies, an air raid should have the ability to cancel that turn of that enemy. So again, it should, in all honesty, it should be a very good skill. I don't know why I didn't even really try utilizing it at all. So, partly, Delonzo's Intimidate skill does the same thing, except it doesn't do damage. So, I guess I will say that, after I had done a little leveling, I went to the, what I call the Aigu Forest, or the area, between, where is it? There's a little bridge that goes to Windia and the checkpoint, the eastern checkpoint. So there's, like I said, there's a little forest there. I like to call it the Aigu Forest. It's also where you get the Master Mary Leap. But anyways, long story short, when you're there, you can run into the Goo Titan, and the Goo Titan is a very difficult monster to fight at this point in the game, unless you have the right skills, and which I do. Blind is very useful. Sleep, intimidate, so on and so forth are very, very useful to have when fighting them. So again, I guess long story short here, I came in here to do a little bit of leveling so that I could go back over there and try to defeat some Goo Titans, and I want to say I already took the video. Here I moved the crates to the wrong spot, so I had to go back around. It's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. Fire Slug and Slug. I don't believe there's a whole lot to say about the Slug and the Fire Slug. You want to kill the Fire Slug as soon as possible, or at least get some damage onto him, because he uses a skill called Fire Breath. And Fire Breath is just like any other breath attack in the game. The less HP the monster has, or you have, if you're using it, the less damage it's going to do. So you're going to want to knock down some of its health. And here is an eye bulb. Using blind on these, I believe, gives you more EXP. So that's a pretty common common occurrence, I guess, in this game, is that by blinding certain things, you'll get more EXP when you kill them. So, all right, let's see if I can get this right. I think what you want to do is you want to line up that bottom, those crates on the left side, just like that. That should be like your marker to know that they're in the right spot. So we'll see if I did it right. Nina had the best agility in my party right now, so that's why I was using Steel Command with her. Again, you know, I brought it up in a previous video, but the Steel Command has a modifier, so you'll get more success depending on your agility in relation to what you're trying to steal from. So, you know, you just want to have more agility, basically. That's really the bottom line. Your best bonus comes from having, I believe it's more than 50 agility over the target, which, you know, is not going to be happening for a very, very long time. I'm trying to think of what my agility even was at this point in the game. I'm not even sure. It was probably anywhere from 20 to 30, something like that is what I'm going to guess. You know, if you're trying to go for some sort of agility build like I was, Delonzo is really your only choice at the beginning of the game. It takes a while before you get anybody else that will give you, I should say, as far as masters, that will give you any amount of agility. And again, you know, I like that route. I love getting extra turns. So that's where I want to say the high boots were up there. And then there was a treasure chest. You can see it up in the top right of the corner there, but it looks like I didn't walk over to it again, but I want to say that's where you get 1,200 zenny. So quite a bit of cash in that other treasure chest. We'll make sure, you know, I'll just make sure that I've got that right. I'm trying to look at my my health and stuff to try to get a better feel for what level I was. I guess I can check at the end of this battle, but I feel like I did a bit of leveling. I had to be at level 8 or so with Nina before I got to this area. And then Steel is 4 levels under Delonzo, I believe. So, at the very least, Nina's level 12. At the very, very least. What else to say? There we go. There's me learning air raid. I don't remember if I had much difficulty learning that or not. I don't feel like it took me very long. You know, maybe I just got lucky. But in previous playthroughs, I know that was more difficult to learn. Since they can put a decent amount of damage on you, I would, you know, definitely suggest not trying to learn it until you've got one by itself. At a certain point in the battle, they will run out of AP though. So just know that, you know, after a certain point, you're just, especially if it says he's run out of AP, you know he's not going to be able to use it again. So unless you want to use an item that will restore TP, which I wouldn't recommend. You know, I wouldn't hang out and try to pound through there and keep learning. I guess I'd say, you know, just let him run out of AP and then finish the job. Let's see here. So the slugs use chlorine. I don't remember that being a very big nuisance. The main character does have the Purify skill. Momo actually may have that too by now. I don't remember what level she got that. Wow, 20. Did I see that right? 21, 25, and 20? So this must have been after I did a ton of leveling or at the Goo Forest. The Goo Titan gives 600 experience points when you kill it. So obviously if, split between 3 characters, that's going to be 200 each. But if you use the Monopolize ability, which I know I did a few times with Nina, you will obviously learn all of that EXP, and it will not be split. So that is probably why Nina is at what looks to be level 25. I mean, she's way ahead of the main character at this point. Which is very interesting because I know I did a ton of leveling on the main character at the very beginning of the game. After I got Migas, of course, as a master, I stayed level 1 until Migas became available. Yeah, 21, 25, and 20. Yeah, I did. I just must have done a ton of leveling. Now this is actually my second playthrough. So there was a point there where I had basically made a brand new save, and right around this point is where that happened. So I don't remember exactly when I did it, but at one point I did go back to Momo's tower, and just hung out there and leveled and gained more ice shards. Or sorry, not ice shards, life shards, which is the item that increases your maximum health. I guess I'll try to keep my eyes peeled as far as my health goes, just to try to get a better feel for when I did that. But I don't know if I would definitely. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't really feel it's necessary. I don't know if I went there. I don't know if I did this right or not. No, I don't think so. Well, let's just pull that back down. So the idea is to get these boxes lined up so that you can get the treasure. So we'll see if I did it right. But again, Ice Toad's very, very difficult at this point in the game to actually steal from. And again, I really don't recommend it. I don't think it's worth the time, and especially unless you just really enjoy the combat system in this game, and you really wanna make yourself overpowered. Really, frankly, I mean, even honestly, I feel right now already that my levels are way too high. It's just gonna really trivialize the majority of the encounters from here on out. Trying to think of what other treasure chests were even here. It looks like I got them in the right spot. So basically, you want to hit that red lever until the crates move to the right spots, and they form a path for you. You walk over here, climb up the ramp, and you should be able to walk across the crates. Boop. So that it looks maybe hopefully I caught that right, but it looked like Air Raid actually worked on Momo, and so it made her lose her turn right there. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she should have been able to take a turn there, and it looks like I actually moved that crate maybe a little bit too far, but whatever, it ended up working out. So there is the Artemis cap, and that thing is just fantastic for Momo specifically. Raises to hit chance. I believe it raises it by 10, and then with so Momo's base is 60, which again I brought up in another video. Her base is 60, which I think means that she has a 60% chance to hit, which is horrible compared to anybody else. She's, you know, by far the lowest in the whole. You know, of all the characters that you can get. But that Artemis Cap boosts her up to 70, which should mean a 70% chance to hit. And then Delonzo has another, actually 5 to hit. So, you know, again, I take that as to mean that she should then be at 75% chance to hit, which is, you know, a 15% better chance than her base. So, you know, if anybody knows otherwise or has actually done tests, you know, by all means, help me out. Give me a clue. But that is the way I understood it. All right, the pain weed and the rank weed. One of these guys, I want to say it's. Ooh, don't quote me, but I want to say it's the rank weed, I believe, is weak to magic. I could be wrong though. It's one of them is weak to magic and one of them is not. So be careful. I shouldn't. You know what? Let me rephrase that. One of them absorbs elemental attacks. So if you've got Momo equipped with the Flame Chrism, or even I believe the Ice Chrism, one of those will absorb it. You know, as well as, you know, hitting it with a magic attack from Nina. Interestingly enough, they do have a bat amulet, but it's a very, very difficult steal. It's difficult to get it at this point in the game, anyway. If you come back here later, it's quite a bit easier. Yeah, again, you know, bat amulets, they're okay. They're not. I wouldn't say that they're particularly needed, but you know, they're not bad to have around. Alright. Let's look these up for you. It looks like the rank weed has 0 resistance. So you'll do, it looks like double damage on the rank weeds, but the pain weed will absorb fire, ice, thunder, earth, and wind. So I guess just keep that in mind. Good things to know. The fire slug is weak to ice. And again, you know, if you run into those, I would definitely recommend focusing them first. Nice little magic shard there. Let's see if the eye bulb. For some reason, this eye bulb seems okay. The eye bulb has the rest skill, which it will. I guess it has a 50% chance to use it on the second turn. So that skill is actually kind of decent to learn. I would, you know, recommend learning it at some point if you haven't already. The good thing about rest is it restores a little bit of health and a little bit of AP, and it doesn't make you fall asleep like the snooze command does. So, you know, if you find yourself with an extra turn and you don't really need it, or, you know, say your main character has run out of AP and, you know, you need AP to heal or something, and again, and you've got yourself an extra turn, you can use the rest command, restore a little bit of AP, and then have enough AP to, you know, to cast a healing spell. So, you know, kind of useful. I don't know how many times I ever actually used it, but AP restoration items, I believe, are a little bit difficult to come by, especially early on in the game. So, you know, not a horrible skill. And And here we have the mutant, which we will be dispatching here in a little bit. Chop it up and throw it into the magma. Mutant plant that can talk, that would be a sight. I think you're wonderful. You can tell Momo's got a very scientific mind. I mean, if it isn't already obvious. You know, I think maybe somebody a little less scientifically minded would have been either grossed out or freaked out by a talking plant, but the weird thing about this is it just, you know, it goes from speaking to you, you know, it seemingly fine, you know, and then it just kind of tweaks out and you have to fight it. So I tried casting Gloom on it there. Did that actually land? Let's see here, the mutant has, no, that must not have landed. It is completely resistant to status change. But not necessarily to psionics, which that first snap did result in a defense down, so you can see it's got 250 regen every turn. You're not gonna want to try to power through that. So what I would suggest doing is hitting it with a fire skill. Actually, I think it may take 2. Yeah. It's a very strange AI table. Very strange. So anyways, like I said, I would hit it with a couple of fire spells and then just kind of go to town. Once it loses its regeneration, it's not real difficult, or the battle should go much faster. Here, I'm not sure what I was deciding on here. Ouch. Sorry. Yeah, sorry for the delay. I'm guessing. Oh boy, did I try to steal from it already? Let's see what this thing even has. Nothing actually. Okay. So yeah, maybe I don't know if I was looking up its tables or whatever. I'm guessing what I was doing. I probably was trying to figure out if I could ever actually land Gloom on it, you know, just because again, I was trying to utilize enemy skills a little better in this playthrough than I normally had. Yeah, looks like that's what I was doing. So what did I actually select there? I hope I didn't try to select Gloom again. Mutant is in pain. Alright, what did we try here? Yeah, I did try Gloom again. That's not gonna land. So, I don't know. Maybe I didn't look up its table. Because it's... From the information I'm looking at right now, you're not gonna land any type of status change. So again, you know, if you're trying to land a Gloom on it or something, that's not gonna work. Whereas a psionics attack, like Nina's like what would be power down, defense down. I forget what the other one is. Speed. Yeah, she's got an agility reduction skill as well. And then, you know, snap will land. The defense down portion of snap will land. Albeit, you know, it's not the rate is by no means fantastic. I think it's 50%. It's no better than 50% though, that's for sure. Sorry. So yeah, so it's kind of weird. Couldn't stop myself from attacking, so kind of interesting. What an amazing discovery. Discovery. So weird. Alright, so I turned down the music for this video, and I kind of wish I would have bumped it up a little bit, but this whole scene was so reminiscent of Terminator. I don't know the timeline if Terminator came out first. Oh, sorry, actually it would have been Terminator 2. But it totally reminded me of that scene, and even the music kind of reminded me of it. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's what they were going for or not, but you know, even it reminded me of the storyline of Terminator. You know, and how the Terminator, you kind of, you know, it's basically, it's, you know, science can take you to you know, to these kind of places where, you know, there's neat new discoveries, and hopefully you're trying to do things, you know, to be productive, but sometimes, you know, things like this mutant arise from those kind of discoveries. So it's more like a, you know, ask questions and, you know, discover things, but you also have to be wary of what you may be creating. So I don't know, again, just totally reminded me of Terminator. So, which, by the way, you know, great movies. All right. So what do we have? Pico. Pico. I'm gonna call him Pico. Hopefully that doesn't annoy people. I don't know. I'm probably not saying his name right. It's a pretty common theme if you haven't noticed already with me. Firecracker 21 to 25. Yeah, lame. Okay. So Pico, love him or hate him. So okay, one of the things that I don't like about Pico, I'm not even gonna say I don't like him. I actually like Pico. Is actually very useful in more ways than one. For one thing, he is a blank slate. When you first get Pico, I mean, he starts at level 1, and you know, some people may look at that as a disadvantage, but I love it. I think, especially, you know, the way I like to play my games is I really like to have projects and build things from the ground up, and with Pico, that is definitely, you know, that is him to a T. So, you know, you can do whatever you want, I guess. No, I should say I would just say, for one thing, or one of the important things to know about him is he does have a couple of breath attacks. So HP will definitely help him out. He knows a couple of really weak heal spells. You know, so I don't know how useful that is. You know, I guess he can kind of fit the bill, I guess, in very specific circumstances. but you kind of have to, if you want to use him as a healer, you're really gonna have to put a lot of work into his intelligence, because I want to say he's got the worst intelligence rating of all of the main characters. Excuse me. So, not the way I would recommend building him at all. Let's just take a look at his abilities. Dream Breath puts enemies to sleep. Venom Breath poisons. He gets Rejuvenate at 20. Purify at 21. And then Ice Breath at 30 and Fire Breath at 31. So again, I would say that those are his most powerful abilities, his last two, Ice and Fire Breath. Which are going to take, health or a higher maximum health total to fully utilize. That being said, that is not really how I don't know, utilize Pico. And probably one of these days I'll have to actually put him in my parties more, but I basically completely use him for gaining skills from masters. Reason being, again, I don't use him very much, so I never really found him that useful, other than, again, to get skills from masters. As you get, you just may not want to have certain characters of yours master under certain masters. The biggest thing that stands out to me is Fall as a perfect example. A three agility hit on any character is just, I can't even. It's just not something that I wanna do to my characters. Especially in this playthrough where I was going for high agility builds. So. That being said, there's still maybe some enemy skills that you want to get from masters that you don't necessarily want to change your stats for on your more used characters. So again, that is where Pico comes in, especially at level 1. He is perfect for that. One thing, I guess another thing that I'll say is Pico's got really good stat growth anyway, so you can kind of do that kind of stuff with him. And it doesn't really hurt him end game that bad, especially if you ever plan on really farming for stat gain items. You can make up for any. I mean, really, frankly, you can make up for any amount of stat reductions, even the agility to a certain extent. Although that, in my opinion, is the most difficult to stat to kind of fix. So. I guess, yeah, that kind of sums up Pico for me. I just don't use him much in battle. I've mainly, I guess I would say, because of his complete lack of personality, it seems, in this game. He's so drab and boring. Like, granted, he plays a really big part in the game, but he has basically no dialogue. So I always found him pretty boring. So I just never really hauled him around with me. So there you go. There's his first starting stats. One starts at level 1, 40 health, 8 AP. So, again, a lot of people are not going to care for that, but I love it. I think it's perfect. It's perfect for what I want to do with him. So there you have it. 29 hours on that playthrough already. So that probably tells you, if you compare your time to mine, that'll probably tell you how much time I spent. Let's see if I mastered Pico under, I'm going to say Yggdrasil. I don't know if that's how to say his name right, but so Yggdrasil is a master that can be obtained when you get Pico, basically right away. He does ask for a wisdom fruit though, so just know that you will. And obviously, I already had one of them on me. I don't remember right off the top of my head where that came from, but It's also not the last one that you'll ever find. So maybe, being that this video is coming to a close here really soon, I will, I guess, discuss a little more on Yggdrasil probably in the next video. So I guess stay tuned. But here is the other thing I wanted to show you guys, and or gals. So again, this is I call it the Aigu Forest, mostly because that is what you're gonna find here. There's just a ton of different goos, and it's, I don't know if I would say it's a great place to try to level Pico right away. You know, you can get some easy XP if you don't run the Goo Titan. But other than that, I would not really recommend this place. And here is where you get Mary Leap. You can't get her right away, just because you don't have, well, for a couple of reasons, and I guess I'll go into that a little bit later. But that is how you do it. You cut down those trees and have Pico headbutt that rock into the water, and then she'll come out, and yeah, so that's how you get her. Anyways, this video is coming to a close, so like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do, but I hope you join me for more videos. Alright, thanks for watching.